Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Let me begin today's video with a question, and don't get scared. It's nothing difficult. It's a very simple question. How many times do you think you have lied today? Don't worry, I'm not judging. Maybe you said I am almost there while you were still getting dressed. Or perhaps someone asked, "How are you?" and you instantly replied, "I am fine," even though your to-do list looked like it had declared war on you. Well, welcome to Tell the Truth Day, the one that encourages us to pause and think about honesty, not only with other people but also with ourselves. Well, imagine a world without lies. Just imagine waking up tomorrow in a world where no one could lie. Your alarm goes off, you ask your friend, "Did you like my presentation?" So instead of saying it was great, they replied, "The introduction was strong, but the ending could have been clearer." Your sibling says, "Yes, I finished the last slice of cake," and your co-worker admits, "I accidentally sent the email without proofreading it." Sounds refreshing, isn't it? And maybe just a little terrifying. You know why? Because there is a reason behind all this. And this is very interesting. That why do we lie? So researchers have debated how often people lie. Some studies suggest just a couple of lies a day, while others count every tiny exaggeration and estimate much higher numbers. But most of us don't lie because we are trying to be villains. Sometimes we live because we don't want to hurt someone's feelings. We want to avoid conflict. We feel embarrassed. We want people to like us. We want to protect someone's surprise birthday party. And you know what? Context matters. And when I say context matters, it means that it also includes white lies. So white lies means that, let's talk about the famous white lie, because imagine your friend proudly shows you a bright purple haircut and asks, "So what do you think?" And do you say, "I hate it"? Probably no, not. A kinder response might be, "It's definitely bold. If you love it, that's what matters." Honesty and kindness can exist together. Trust without kindness isn't helpful. You know why? Because one lesson I've learned is this: being honest doesn't mean being rude. Sometimes people confuse honesty with permission to insult. There's a difference. Instead of saying, "That's the worst idea I have ever heard," you could say, "I think it might need a little more planning." Same truth, different delivery. This is the most interesting part of all this, that why do we lie? Just to talk something differently. So the hardest person to tell the truth to, surprisingly, the hardest person to be honest, which is often ourselves, and we tell ourselves that "I will start tomorrow, I don't have enough time, I'm not good enough, I will never improve." But sometimes those statements aren't facts. They are fear wearing a disguise. My experience, if I really want to talk about my experience, well, as someone who has worked in journalism, writing, blogging and creative projects, I have learned that honesty is essential. No matter what, I have written a wrong draft or have made a mistake, I'm supposed to accept it that I've made a mistake, because good journalism depends on checking facts. Writers must be honest about what they know and what they don't know. Even creative work begins with an honest question: what story do I want to tell? Now, what is popular? Not what everyone else is doing, but what genuinely matters to me. So, social media and honesty. Today's world makes honesty interesting. People usually post highlights, vacations, achievements, celebrations. awards. Rarely do we post, right? My first draft was terrible. I struggled today. I made the mistake. But who are we teaching? Are they going to learn all this if we know that we are creative and we know the pattern? Well, those are those moments that becomes a life of part two, because being authentic doesn't mean that you are sharing private detail. It means that you are pretending to be perfect. So there's a fun challenge, and let's play a little game. Answer honestly. Have you ever pretended you understood a conversation when you didn't? Smiled politely while searching online later for what everyone was talking about? Bought something because everyone else had it? Stayed awake watching just one more episode that became 4 episodes? See, let me know in the comment section, because we are all humans. Okay, so we are all humans because honesty builds on trust. And think about the people you trust most. Why do you trust them? Usually because they are consistent. Their words match their actions. They admit mistakes. They don't pretend to know everything. Trust grows slowly. That is why. Trust grows slowly, but it grows through honesty. So how honesty is derived in relationship is all based on trust in friendship, trust in families, trust in marriage, and trust in partnerships. Because every healthy relationship depends on communication. Sometimes telling the truth feels uncomfortable, but avoiding important conversations usually creates even bigger problems later. And that is a kind of honesty that often strengthens relationships. There is a truth in career also. At work, honesty matters too. Imagine telling your manager, I made an error, but I have already started fixing it. So that conversation may feel difficult to accept. But taking responsibility usually earns more respect than hiding mistakes. And that is related to growth. So the moment you accept your mistake, that is related to the growth of that honesty. And that leads to the trust. That leads to success. So let's be honest, success rarely happens overnight. Behind every book, there are revisions. Behind every painting, there are mistakes. Behind every business, there are setbacks. Behind every achievement, there are quiet days nobody sees. Okay, so the truth is often much less glamorous than the final result. You know why? Because it's just the truth. So I can't lie as a journalist, as a writer. But if you have lied, then please let me know your story. If you're celebrating Tell the Truth Day with friends or family, here are some fun ideas also. So play 2 truths and a lie. Try truth or dare and share 1 honest compliment with each person. Write 3 truths about yourself you have learned this year. Okay, so sometimes these simple activities create meaningful conversations. And honesty with yourself means that today I would like to ask you something. What's one truth you have been avoiding? Maybe you have been telling yourself you are too old to begin something new. Maybe you have convinced yourself you are not creative. Maybe you have delayed pursuing a dream. Sometimes the most important truth is simply, I want to try. A small truth can change everything. Big changes often begin with small truths. Okay, so I need rest. That's what you want to say. I need help. I was wrong. I forgive myself. I want to learn. Those simple sentences can completely changes the direction of our lives. So let's laugh a little. Okay, imagine one completely honest family dinner. You forgot to take the chicken out of the freezer. Me. Who finished the chocolates? Also me. Who said they weren't hungry? Still me. At least dinner would be entertaining. So, Tell the Truth Day isn't about becoming brutally honest for one day and upsetting everyone around you. It's about choosing authenticity with kindness. It's about building trust. It's about speaking carefully. It's about admitting mistakes. It's about respecting yourself enough to live honestly. The truth doesn't always make life easier, but it often makes life clearer. So, what do you want to know? You just want to know the truth. So before we finish, I would love to hear from you. Tell me in the comments what's one truth you have learned about yourself this year. No pressure, no judgment, just honest reflection. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who always appreciates honest conversations. Until next time, be kind, be thoughtful, and whenever possible, choose the truth with compassion. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.